Great. Well, good morning. We're back again, completing our tour of the EOLA-AMITY Hills. Today, we're going to be visiting Temperance Hill Vineyard, one of the crown jewel sites for all kinds of wine grapes, managed meticulously by Di Crisp for over 20 years now. I mean, Temperance Hill, I think, is over 30 years in age total. In addition to Pinot Noir, they grow Pinot Gris, which we also lease, and a little Gewürztraminer and some other beautiful little odds and ends. But first, let's go to the map, and so we can show you the AVAs of the northern Willamette Valley. And today we're zooming in on the EOLA-AMITY Hills. Temperance Hill is one of the highest vineyards in the EOLA-AMITY Hills, and it's right there in the center of that stretch of the old volcanic soil that is the EOLA-AMITY Hills. So if our connection works well, we can Zoom call into Mr. Di Crisp. Come in, Di, tell us what's happening.
Hi there. This is Di Crisp here. I'm out at Temperance Hill Vineyard. I've just been talking with Scott and Annie about what they're doing here with this series, and I'll just introduce you to Temperance Hill. I'm at the top of the pump house block in the back of Temperance Hill. I'm at about 850 feet in elevation. Temperance Hill is one of the high elevation spots in the Willamette Valley. Most of the fruit that I grow is between 700 feet and 850 to very close to 900 feet in elevation. It's situated above Bethel Heights vineyards on the west side and above Christum on the east side. And actually behind me down there is Christum is doing some work down there on their spot. So you're seeing the back side of Temperance Hill, the east facing side of Temperance Hill. And then I'm going to swing this around, and now you're facing south. So this is basically due south. And this is sort of a panorama of the backside of Temperance Hill. The soils on Temperance Hill are Jory, Rittner, and Nicaea soils. Primarily, although where I'm standing has got an interesting series called Witzel, which is probably the thinnest and most rocky spot on the vineyard. The site produces fruit that goes to about 26 wineries. I've been farming this site since 1999, and I've been farming it organically the entire time. I actually started farming professionally in 1989 and started, well, I was farming organically before that, but basically the entire time it's been certified organic farming practices. The orientation of this site is very unique because to the west, so I can't really show you the west. I suppose I could show you the west by swinging you all the way around like this. So over that hill behind me is the Van Duzer corridor. And that's a kind of a low area in the Coast Range that funnels marine air into the valley in the evening. So it has remarkable influence here. Part of what it does is the airflow, I think, really has an impact on the skins of the fruit. I think that, we have something like 5 times the amount of wind in this area than in, say, the Dundee Hills. It's extremely windy in the evenings here. It's really kind of nice right now and the heat is building up, but later on, around 5 o'clock, it will get very windy and will blow the heat out of this area. So we get big temperature excursions. The elevation causes the fruit to ripen later. It's one of the latest sites that's picked. We're usually starting to harvest when, say, the Chehalem Mountain area has finished. So it's a late site. It is a risky site, and its elevation. It's also a site that's tricky to farm because it has all kinds of slopes, and vines are planted in lots of different directions out here. The varieties I grow are primarily Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and a little bit of Gris, a little bit of Aligoté. But the two main varieties, of course, Pinot Noir is the main thing, and then Chardonnay second. I think that's it. It's been good to talk to you.
Thanks, Di. Now we'd like to get Shannon's opinion in the loop here. I know she's enjoyed working with Temperance Hill Pinot Noir and Pinot Gris for a couple of years. Shannon, what's on your mind when Temperance Hill comes in at the winery?
Well, first of all, it's such an honor to be working with such an amazing vineyard from the EOLA-AMITY Hills. One thing that I think is really critical to mention that makes this vineyard different from our other EOLA-AMITY sites is its elevation in relation to the other vineyards. It's a little bit higher up, and one of the things that I really learned in working with Temperance Hill is that the higher the elevation, the longer it's going to take to get it right. So this is typically one of our last sets of fruit to come into the winery. And what we like to do is give it a little bit of whole cluster fermentation. It really adds a nice spice characteristic to this lot. I find that the Temperance Hill, for me, is a lot showier. It's got some really beautiful red fruits, red currant and blueberry, along with some cool tobacco-like notes to it. We try not to do too much new oak on it because we don't want to overwhelm it. So we usually leave it around 20% in general. But it definitely is a really fun vineyard to work with. And it's cool because there's so many other wineries that have good examples of this too. We work with a block called Baby's Block, which is clone 115. And so like our Crawford Beck, it's also 115. So it's fun to see the difference between the two vineyards.
Yeah, that'll be nice having two vineyards, Pinot Noir, Clone 115 from the EOLA-AMITY Hills, a world of difference on the palate. So that's what's in this package. Is that right, Annie?
Yes, that's right. It's great to have those two vineyards in our 3-pack. The EOLA-AMITY Hills is designated by this raptor feather. So all three,
And why is that bottle so empty?
Oh.
I think we drank it last night.
So all three of the EOLA-AMITY Hills wines in this pack have this raptor feather, which is the red-tailed hawk. So we hope you go to our site, and for a mere $99 to your door, you can order this EOLA-AMITY 3-pack and other of the 3-packs that are soon to appear there. So thanks so much for watching today.
Yeah, thanks. Ciao.